to do a video on purposeful play, and I just want to give you a couple like precursors to the activity and why we're doing it. But what I would recommend is that you guys pick up all of your toys and your bones and put them away. So, bones, toys, these all kind of promote prey drive. Oakley, no thanks. They kind of promote prey drive. And so if you let your dogs have access to a toy box all day long, what you're actually doing is you're encouraging them to build their prey drive. It's unintentional, but that's exactly what's happening. And because you're building their prey drive, you're actually making yourself you're making yourself less relevant to the dog because they're using these toys as a way to fulfill themselves instead of pack drive or the human or whatever the human's doing, which is going to, in the end, make him a much better dog. His prey drive is through the roof, so we don't want to add to it. And there are a lot of simple ways to decrease it, which is not allowing him to have free access to a toy bin. So that's going to be one of the things I'm going to encourage. This is something I live my life by. So this isn't just like a trial period for me. Like, this is something where I think that when toys shouldn't be something that dogs just have access to, but it should be something that we actually utilize to play with the dog and increase our relevancy and share something with them that's fun. Leave it. Good. So, the problem with, leave it. The problem with, I'm sorry, I'm really tired, I didn't sleep last night. The problem with Havoc, that's his name, Havoc, is that his intensity is through the roof about toys. Like, all he wants to do is kill it. So, I'm not real sure what kind of other activities he likes. It doesn't sound like you really have access to play fetch. I'm not sure if you guys actively engaged in tug-of-war with this guy. I can't really imagine how he's so strong, but you guys are probably a lot stronger than I am. I don't know what kind of play was happening, but basically any type of play engagement with him has been really insane. So I'm kind of using a couple different techniques to let him get his prey drive fulfilled. It's kind of part of this process is actually fulfilling their prey drive, because if we continue to ask him to be in pack drive, it's frustrating for him. Like, he has to have an outlet. So, I definitely encourage you to set up a purposeful play session once a day with him. And I don't always do this inside, but with him I do, and the reason is because he's so easily distracted by everything in his environment that doing it indoors makes it a lot easier for me to focus on my goals with him. And it keeps him from fixating on other things and staying on task. So if you ever build up to outside purposeful play activities, that's a sign of progress, because I don't think I'm going to accomplish it before he goes home. I think I could, but my goal through this activity is actually that I want to teach him how to calm himself down. So the biggest component to my purposeful play is a self-soothing technique that we use. Now, I think you guys are very well aware of the fact that Havoc has a really hard time calming himself down. This guy did not come with me with the tools to understand how to self-soothe at all. And you can even see it in his face, just like constant, like, I'm so on, like, I'm at a 10 all the time. And so what I'm doing is I'm using toys to actually take him all the way to a 10, where he goes all the way to that high level of prey drive, where he's really intense and excited. And I add lots of rules and boundaries to that play, which starts to create more mindfulness in the interaction. And then once he's done playing, or I have decided he's done playing because it's always on my terms, then I actually make him go back to his place where I wait for him to calm himself all the way down, like you're seeing right now. So this is a self-soothing technique, and the thing that I love the most about it is that this particular technique, dogs learn a lot through playing with one another and in other ways, and so this technique is actually going to teach him how to utilize self-soothing techniques in other avenues of his life that get him very amped. So this is going to be something that if you practice it daily, you're actually going to see it's going to start translating into other aspects of his life. But as kind of a caution is you can overdo it. So you have to spend a lot more time doing this kind of stuff than the play itself, because he kind of can go over the top to a point where calming down is, it either takes a really long time or it's just in general very, very challenging for him because he's kind of over his threshold of tolerance and kind of into crazy town. So I'm just going to kind of show you, I've kind of worn out a lot of the toys here. He gets, I don't know if you guys experience this, but he gets like really old of toys fast. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this toy and just kind of throw it on the ground. You know, usually I engage with tug of war with dogs, but Havoc doesn't really know how to play tug of war. He will jump on me, he'll crawl up the tug toy and try to nip at my hands. And then when he gets a good grip on the toy, he shakes it and kills it, which tug is supposed to be like, you know, tug of war, not someone kills it at the other end of the line and moves your shoulder out of socket. And that's what he wants to do. So I just in general like couldn't do the tug with him. It just seemed to only result in just really stupid behavior. So instead, like, I'm using this toy, and it's kind of fucked up, honestly. I'm kind of using it in a way where it mirrors this idea of him jumping over the fence and getting those dogs that he has a habit of jumping the fence and kind of pinning a dog to the ground. So instead of like engagement type stuff, I'm just actually letting him go get the toy and kill it, and letting him really just get all that out of his system. And then I make him drop the toy, or the command to drop the toy is out, and then he has to go back to his place. So this is actually different than I've ever done it with any dog before. I'm usually much more engaged, but he is too hard. So this is what I've come up with. But I kind of like what it's created in him. He's getting softer about toys, and I think allowing him to kind of get that fix that he had at home where he can like pounce on something and embrace that Rhodesian Ridgeback, pin him to the ground mentality, but we're using a toy to get it out of his system, so he's not as inclined to then turn around and do it to a dog. So, rules. Place, calm down, present toy. I want eye contact from him. He's being extra good. Get it. Release him, and then he's going to grab the toy. I don't know if you guys can see. Here, come get in the line of sight. Get it. Get it. There you go. See how he just killed? This is very low intensity for him. When he first started, I mean, he could just for like 3 minutes straight just kill, nonstop. So he did a couple kills, couple shakes back and forth, and now he's just kind of gnawing on the toy. I might increase the challenge. Havoc, out, sit. Sit. I do have my speaker box on so you can hear my e-collar work. Havoc, sit. There you go. We'll wait for eye contact. Get it. Get it. Maybe kill it a couple times. This is so much lower intensity than what I was dealing with when we first started. No, that's the line. Out. There you go. Kill the toy. So out means drop it. Leave it means leave it alone. You can hear the e-collar paired with the commands. He's on an 8 right now. so well. And so what that does is it, you know, I'm creating a lot of boundaries in this, which again, that makes you more relevant to be able to say, stay on your place, calm down, wait for me to tell you when it's time to play, then you're gonna play, we're gonna break it up and practice some obedience in between, and then when I'm ready for you to be done, you're gonna drop it, leave it, and go to your place board, and then this is where the self-soothing process begins. Now, just to give you, you're kind of seeing the like more finished product of my goal. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, buddy. You're silly. Because this was absolute insanity, like scary almost. I've never really actually, I don't know if I've ever played with a dog that brought as much intensity into it as Havoc in my whole career. So lots of intensity, lots of strength, lots of body checking, and other rude behavior, which I know he couldn't help it because he was excited, but it's just like, dude, way too much. So where I am the most blown away, if I'm gonna like see the progress, is how quickly he can get himself off of the toy and onto place and calm. The faster, the more I know that this technique is actually starting to sit in and resonate in his brain. The other thing is the intensity over the toy. If he starts to really become softer about the toy, especially if it's a new toy that he's never killed, then I know that I'm making progress. Like the fact that he was as mellow over that rope is, to me, insanity in terms of progression because of how intense it was. So those are some kind of ways that you can break it down to see improvement. And what you're going to see in this video is that everything moves very quickly. It's not going to be the case at your house. You're going to have to break this down much slower at your house because I have a feeling that this guy is going to test everything that you guys do with him. But this is going to be a great way to drain his energy, fulfill his prey drive, practice all your commands, teach him self-soothing techniques, become more relevant, like the list goes on. So I'm going to get a new toy. Just to, I do like to switch the toys up because he does, it's like after he kills it, he's like, I'm done. I've killed that toy before. So I'm going to make sure this is in the camera's view. I'm going to get a new toy. So you might have to, depending on how he responds to you guys, you might have to get a handful of toys and alternate them because he really does kind of burn out on the toys. Leave it. So look at him right now. He went from on his side to hunched over the place board, curled his feet over so he could launch off the board. His head is now very, very scrunched and he's very forward moving. This is anticipation. Oh my God, there's a new toy. I'm so freaking stoked. So I'm actually not going to release him when he's like this. This is his beginning of his stalking mentality, which is hugely problematic for you guys. So there he goes. He looks away. You can wait, because sometimes waiting is all it takes to figure out, for him to figure out, I need to be calmer before she's going to release me. So I want to see a much softer connection with him over this toy than that kind of, I don't know if you could see it in the camera, but very stalking-like, very high intensity. It's just he doesn't have as much hyperactivity behind it. And you could see because when I grabbed the line, he flinched like he was going to get released. Like this was the indicator that he could get the toy. So there's a lot of anticipation in, oh my God, am I going to get it? When am I going to get it? When is it my turn? And the longer we make him wait and the calmer we ask for him to become, the more beneficial for him in the long run, the more mentally exhausting it is for him. And also, we're not encouraging that high intensity behavior, we're actually discouraging it and saying you're not going to move forward until you calm down. So this is even better, like he kind of moved his head and like went and tried to like disengage. But now he's back, staring at the toy, little fixated, kind of giving me frustrated eyes, like, come on, bitch, just let me have the damn toy already. So I might just challenge him right now just to make sure that I am getting what I want from him in terms of patiently waiting. Come. You see where he went? I said come. Here. Sit. Place. So I said come, he went to the toy. I said place, he tried to go to the toy. So I am testing him to make sure, are you actively listening to me? Because this dog is actually incredibly intelligent, and what he's going to try is to physically put himself into positions where he's mentally the same dog he was when he came in here. And mentally is what we actually need to fix, because he's smart enough to understand the positions, but what we need him to understand is what state of mind is going to be rewarded. And that is calm. Calm, and not anticipating. Quit chewing your butt. It's gross. Thank you. So, another little cue I want to kind of bring up is when he goes into a down, he doesn't lay on his side, he actually gets up on his hunches. And this is an indicator of anticipation, and it's also an indicator of I'm not actually fully relaxed. So right now, he's in a pouncing position because he's not on his side, he's actually, all 4 of his feet are underneath him like this, and that just gives them this pouncing advantage. So there, it's probably hard to see, but right there, he rolled over onto his side. So that's more of an indicator that he's relaxed. But what I want to do, is just test this. Your e-collar is really high right now, dude. Come. There we go. Here. Place. And see, that's like a great test to be like, where is this guy at? Because the first time I did it, he tried to get the toy every single time. And that time I got a lot more compliance from him, a lot nicer state of mind. I did have to go up to a 17 on the e-collar in order to get all that, but that's Havoc for you. So now I'm just going to wait for that calming process to take place again. This can be the most time-consuming part of it depending on his mood. So sometimes it's really quick, and sometimes it's just he has had enough, and he's going to test and test and test, and a lot of dog training is waiting. So we're just going to wait for what we're looking for before we reward it. And just kind of as a side note, you can ask him to go into a down, but I'm actually not right now for a good reason, which is I want him to calm himself into a down instead of me telling him to go into a down. And that's the difference, like one of the many differences between obedience and what we do, which is what we're not focused so much. Obedience helps us build a foundation, but I'm way more focused on state of mind. I'm trying to create a certain personality in the dog that's more livable, that can actually coexist in society and actually self-soothe. And so we're going to focus way more on state of mind than necessarily positioning. So this is good. As soon as I get eye contact, it's really pathetic eye contact, Havoc. He's very irritated with me. Go get it! Get it, buddy! Kill it! Yeah. I might try. He's so mellow right now, I might just try some tug with him. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. I like that. Oh, see, now then it's just like, out. That was too high on the e-collar. Sit. So maybe that's a good rule of thumb is you got your e-collar in one hand, you got your toy in the other, and when he starts to shake it and kill it, out. Because it's not very nice to have your arm on the other side and have a dog killing the toy. So that could be a good, if you guys get to the point where tug is fun and you're actually able to utilize it, a good way to lay that out. So the other thing with tug is don't ever let him win. Not this dog. Do not let this dog win. Get it! Yeah. I did wait for eye contact again before Jumper doesn't even play a little tug, bud. It's good improvement. Get it. Yes. Oh, out. Please. So he's at a 7 right now on the e-collar. Just kind of giving you an idea of where his number range is because you're going to have to adjust it based on his response. And I'm going to order lunch with Hillary real quick while we're waiting for him to calm himself down. So the e-collar is, stop, leave it. And the e-collar is a really good tool because we can actually use it to help us get more self-soothing stuff accomplished. So he's not doing it a ton today. He's redirecting all of his energy onto licking his genitalia. But sometimes when Havoc's super worked up, he will, oh my gosh, you're freaking adorable right now. Like I didn't even know that this dog could have this side of him. It's so nice to see. Cute. But like sometimes what he'll do is he'll get on place and he'll start sniffing the ground around the placeboard or sniffing the placeboard or like trying to pick things up in his mouth that might be on the placeboard, like a little stick that happened to get on there. And then he'll fixate on the crates or out the windows, like, oh my God, I heard something, or there's a dog in their crate. And then he'll get frustrated because what I do is I tap him off of all of it with the e-collar on a working number. So not a corrective number, just a number that I know is actually, when you're doing leave it, you know it's high enough on the e-collar when they actually stop doing what it is that they're doing, right? So if I'm like, leave it, don't look out the window, and he keeps looking out the window, my number was not high enough. So I need to go up one more. And I'll just keep going up one at a time until I get the dog to actually remove the state of mind from the window, right? So that's an example of how you can block sniffing the ground, sniffing the placeboard, picking up sticks in his mouth, looking out the windows, looking to see where your other dogs are at, looking to see where your cats are at. And then he'll get kind of frustrated because it's our way of basically saying, no, dude, we're not on the placeboard so that you can continue to stay amped. We're on the placeboard so you can relax. And that can get kind of frustrating for him sometimes. Obviously, today it isn't. He's pretty content today. So then he'll like lay down and then he'll start licking his butt and then he'll start licking his penis and then he'll start licking his feet. And it's just like this ongoing cycle of, this is very hard for me to stop being, occupied, whether it's in prey drive or like, mowing on himself. There's a part of him that it's just like, I have a really hard time relaxing. Like, this is really frustrating for me. And so in order to help make that move along faster, I can use my e-collar on very low numbers to kind of start blocking some of the things that he is choosing to do to almost resist the relaxation. All of those things he's doing is because he's like, well, I don't want to relax. There might be smells. There might be smells on the ground. There might be smells on the placeboard. What's that sound outside? Oh my God, what's that dog moving in their crate? Oh wow, turns out my butthole is itchy. Right? It's just this like kind of neurotic pattern that he goes through. He's like, I just don't know how to calm down. So that e-collar blocks it and allows to accomplish this a lot faster. So I'm not even getting to really show you very much of an example today because of how far he's come. But I wanted to give you that kind of tidbit of advice because as you're moving forward with this is something you can do outside of purposeful play too. Like, it doesn't have to be only related to play. It can be anytime he's on place and you just can tell that he is being defiant and hyperactive and just really choosing to stay busy instead of relaxed. You can use that e-collar to kind of mold behavior and get him to quit staying in prey drive and stuff like that. think it's probably been over 20 minutes now. And although if I wasn't making 25 minutes, if I wasn't making a video, I probably would try to do 1 or 2 more tugs with him. But this is a good enough session for me because he's been spending so much time relaxing, which is what this dog needs to learn more than anything in the world. It's just how to relax and chill out. So I'm pretty proud of him, but you always want to end on this. So we're not going to end on play. We're not going to end on that heightened state, because what I don't want is for him to retain, I'm jacked up, I'm worked up. What I want him to take away from these activities is, wow, these things make me feel really calm and relaxed. So that's going to be your goal moving forward.